In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use some cool Inktense tips and tricks to help you paint birds. So I've been painting a beautiful green parrot for one of my upcoming online courses. Today I'm going to show you extracts of that. I'm also going to launch the course. Don't worry if you're not interested in that, there'll be lots of tips to help you with your Inktense and watercolor pencil paintings in this video. So let's get started and learn some tips and tricks for painting birds. So this is my green parrot that I'm starting to draw. This is going to be module 11, the last module of my Watercolor Pencils and Inktense course. And this is Inktense, and you'll notice that I'm actually drawing the outline, even though it's a bit scruffy and I haven't fully finalised it yet. I'm drawing the outline in colours that resemble the colours that I'm going to be using. It's really important that you don't use a graphite pencil when working in watercolour pencils or Inktense. I mean, if you had some line around the outside of the area where you were working, perhaps a construction line or a little marker, something, that's all fine. But when it comes to the actual subject itself, you want to keep it clean of graphite pencil because it'll be hard to remove and it'll just muddy up your picture. You can see here, I'm just starting with these basic outline shapes. Often when drawing birds, it's a good idea to think about shapes that are a bit sort of like paisley or teardrop shaped. We'll get the overall shape of the bird before we start to add any details. So the next step in my picture is to choose and swatch my colours. So I've got a rough outline here. I'm now going to think about the colours I'm going to use, and what I'm going to do is when I've chosen them, I'll write them down on the side here. I'm going to change my background a little bit. I'm not going to have a full background that goes out the corners. I'm going to do a vignette background, and it's really important to swatch your colours first and think not only about which colours you might use, but also how they might interact with each other and mix together. I only have about 20 of these pencils, so I'm going to need to mix my colours as well as use ready-made ones. It's very tempting when you have a full set of something, or particularly with dry medium like pan paints and pencils, it's very easy just to put every single colour you own on one picture, but you don't end up with anything cohesive that way. So I'll be looking to choose a few colours here, probably more than I would for paint because they don't mix as easily, but I'll certainly be starting with less than 10. So what I'm doing at this stage is creating a soft background for my bird, and I've used this pencil palette to turn some of my Inktense pencils into paint. Now you don't need a special palette like this. You can actually use a scrap of watercolour paper. You'll still be able to pick up some paint from it, or some people use something like a plastic kitchen chopping board. Where my bird's a little bit fluffier, I'll take the water in a bit so that we get a bit more of a soft edge, manipulating the medium for a little bit of fluffiness on the bird. So it's likely I'll do more work to the background later on. I just want to start getting in some base colours because that's still slightly damp, and you can see, I don't know if you can see on camera, but the paper has started to buckle and lift. This is stretched paper, so as it dries it will flatten out. If you want to know how to stretch watercolour paper, I've made a video all about it. I'll link that in the description of this video. But I'm safe to work on now with dry media. So what I want to do is to get some colours on the parrot and also some colours on the branch. I'm going to leave the red on the parrot until last, and the black eye. Things that are strongly coloured like that tend to bleed and run. So I'm now going to approach this a bit like a coloured pencil drawing, where I'm just sketching in different colours. Now, although that looks like a brown, it's actually a mustard yellow colour, so I'm going to add a little bit of this dark brown to mix in as well. And I'll be sketching colours all over the bird and the branch, leaving strong details and sharp edges until later. If you're a beginner, this is a great way to start an Inktense or a watercolour pencil drawing. And don't forget, if you want the full tutorial for this, it's one of 4 full-length tutorials that's in my new course. And before we even get to these tutorials, this is the very last one, we go through a whole host of basic techniques and information about watercolour pencils and Inktense pencils. And don't forget that during the launch period, you'll get a hefty discount off of that course as well. If you are enjoying today's video so far, can I ask you please just to quickly click that like button? It makes such a difference to the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to share with a friend who might also be interested in these tips and techniques. if you can leave me a nice comment, not a nasty one, a nice one, and even consider free subscribing because my channel is fully cat approved, I'll be ever so grateful. Let's carry on with some more Inktense tips and tricks. So my next tip here is I've gone a little darker around here so that the bird's foot will show up eventually. So I don't want to start in the dark and drag it down to the light area. I'm going to start down here in this lighter area and bring the water up. Now I'll probably go back into these areas again later on. This is just an underwash and we want to work areas light to dark. And we also want to work areas separately. Even though I'm not putting in detail at this stage, I need to be able to see where I am with things. For example, these areas of tail feather here, if I paint them all in one go with water, each one will bleed into the other and I literally won't be able to see what I've drawn. So at this stage, I'm just activating things, working light to dark so I don't drag strong pigment into areas where I don't want it, and getting a nice underwash. My next tip is to keep your water clean. So I've gone here from the branch to the bird and I had quite mucky brown water. And whilst I'm quite happy for the background to have muted colours, I want our parrot to be fresh and lovely, like he's just taken a bath in some spring water. And so I'm going to not only change my water, but keep dipping my brush in when I go between areas so that I don't overblend all of the colours. My next tip is to sharpen your pencils. So we're going to go in on top of these underneath areas now. You see I've started up here and we want to get actual idea of linear growth now because we can actually see all of these little feathers on the bird and we can start working them in the direction that they grow. And I can choose how much to dissolve those little sharp lines or to add them on top of wet areas. My next tip is not to use black or anything like strong grey to get darks. This bird is a very bright green, so I want to avoid colours like that. I've got black in the eye later on, but I don't want to get that into the feathers. There are several options. You can use a dark blue like this. Blue is part of green, so you can always get away with using this for darks. I could use a darker, more emerald coloured green like this one. In places I could even use a brown, but I'm going to avoid using black. Another trick is to use negative shapes because we've got light feathers sort of overlapping dark feathers here, and just like watercolour, it's not very easy to do that because it's not a fully opaque medium. So what we can do instead of making those light feathers overlap the dark, we can work in a negative area and we're almost working by creating the shadows in between. So I'm using darker colour to define the lights. So let me know what you thought of my bird. It's one of my absolute favourite subjects. Also let me know in the comments if there's any other types of birds or animals you'd like me to paint for you in this medium or another. And don't forget to have a look in the video description. You'll find all the details of my latest course, all of my other courses, and even some free downloadable PDFs that you can grab for no money whatsoever. And if you've enjoyed learning about these Inktense tips and tricks and want to know more about the medium, you can watch another one of my videos right now.